Hey guys!
Hi!
Welcome back to JM Table Chats. We're so happy to have you guys with us.
So we want to thank you for watching our last 3 videos for our supporters who have been faithful to us. We appreciate you so much, and we thank those of you who have spread the word.
Yes.
We really love and appreciate the support, and we just want you guys to know that this is
A big thing for us. It means a lot, and we thank everybody who has actually taken their time out and stopped to watch us because, for any beginner, it's just amazing to have anyone out there who would even stop to listen.
Mm-hmm.
So we thank you to everyone who has watched us thus far and has been faithful since 3 weeks ago. But yeah, our thank you to, and to those who have sent us in questions, thank you, because today we are actually going to answer some. I have them here. I'm going to read them off to you guys so you know what the questions were, and we'll discuss from there. But again, if you have sent one in, it has been seen, and we are going to include it in one of our upcoming episodes. So here we go. If you could go back to before you had a child, would you change things?
hell no, I wouldn't change it. I love my little baby too much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm obsessed with him way too much to want to change it. Not at all. I wouldn't even second guess it.
I wouldn't say I would go back and change it because everything happened for a reason and it happened because it was meant to happen. However, would I have changed some things? Of course. Maybe waited a little longer. Maybe had a bigger, how do you say it? Learned who I was with prior to having a child. Not that it was planned, but maybe not having rushed it or been so fantasized with that type of, I want a child, I want a mommy, I want a daddy type thing, and been smarter. Do I regret it? Absolutely not, because my son is my biggest blessing, and honestly, he is, I don't even know, I am who I am because I am. So I would not change that aspect of it, but maybe minor details in getting to that point. Do you think you would make the same choices?
No, I would not make the same choices. I wouldn't change anything that happens that led me to my son because I wouldn't want him to change. But after that, yes, there's lots of choices. And if I was giving someone else advice before they get there, then yes, I would tell them not to do these things. Yes. Be forewarned of the signs. Like I said, once the kid is here, you would never change anything. Mm-hmm. But it's like if you have the opportunity to help someone else prevent that issue, then yes. Not that my kid's an issue. No, that's not the issue.
I understand.
It's just
that time of life is so much more than what you expect it to be. So if I can be like, hey, you want to have a kid? Okay, well, let me tell you exactly how things are, and then you can really think if that is the step that you want to take.
And most times it could, if I could talk to me, like if I had someone that was in my position, like what I'm in now, that could come and talk to me like straight out of high school, then yes, I probably would have not made those choices.
Yeah.
And that's the purpose of this, is that even for people who are our viewers who don't have kids, who just like to watch us and support us because you guys are awesome, take all of this and learn from it. Yes. You don't have to go down the same path. Mm-hmm. You can choose a different path, and you can still get your family and your kids and have those same, outcomes, but at the right time.
Yes, exactly. I guess we kind of already answered this part of the question, but would you have waited?
I mean, like, I could say that now, like, I've been in, I wouldn't necessarily, I mean, relationships, I guess, yeah. They were never, like, anything crazy serious, but I've been in relationships. And, I mean, I have plenty of opportunities to do exactly what I did with my son's father, but I haven't. So, yeah, I would change them now. Like, I wouldn't continue to do the same things that would leave me in a tougher position to get where I want to go. Mm-hmm. And with the wrong person.
Yes. I agree on that. Maybe I would have waited till I was a little older. Mm-hmm. But the whole point of, like, the reason why I'm in this situation is because it wasn't planned, it wasn't planned out for years, and I'm going to have a kid at this age, I'm going to be with this person, I want this, and this. It was ignorance, we didn't know anything back a couple years ago.
Which
6
is
years
naive,
ago.
you know.
Yeah, it was naive. You wanted that. You're like, oh, my relationship, I love him. He loves me. It's perfect. But obviously, you know, exactly. You get caught up in the moment. So I probably would have waited to be a little older. But at the same time, I feel like it's a win situation because, yeah, I had my son at a younger age. However, I get to grow with him. Mm-hmm. So I get to experience everything in his life and still be a young mom that I can interact with him and not just be like, oh, you know, go do this and that. So it is like a good thing that it happened when it did happen because we both can grow together. Mm-hmm. And I can see him grow and he can see the accomplishments that his mom has and just want to be that have that push in him. So I think it's in my situation it happened, but it was good. Mm-hmm. Next question is, how has your past relationships affected your current, or if you're not in one, how would it affect your future relationship as far as trust and committing goes?
It's just kind of made me more aware. I wouldn't say that someone else is going to have to suffer because I have trust issues from a past relationship, because I don't believe in holding someone else accountable for someone else's mistakes. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I'm more aware now. Like, now I can read people better, read situations better. I understand getting caught up in the moment and the lust and all the other stuff that may come in the beginning stages of a relationship, but I've learned that that is not love yet. Like that is fun and that's great, but I've learned to also like take my emotions out of it and logically look at the situation and see, is this going to be healthy for me, for my kid? Because now it's not just me. Yeah. It's me and my son, and my son is my world, and no one's gonna come and disrupt it. If you're gonna come add to it, and you're gonna love him like he's yours, and you're gonna love me, and we're gonna grow together, then yes, then we can move forward. So it would just make me more aware. It's not necessarily gonna affect my relationship per se. Yeah. It's just gonna affect how much time I'm willing to give something. Or, yes. You know, because now I'm not gonna just let it be wasted time.
Yeah, I agree on that. However, I'm not going to say it won't have any effect at all because of the fact that because trust was such a huge issue in my past relationships, it's not that I'm going to go to the next guy and be like, oh, I don't trust you. You have to prove your trust. No, I'm just going to be a lot more alert, and once I'm the type of like, if I smell something fishy, I'm going to ask you about it straight out. I'm not going to sit there and think that I know and just keep it to myself like I used to and just be like, well, I guess we'll find out, or play dumb like I don't really know because I don't want to know. So I would say in that way it would affect my relationship, but more for, you know, me, I guess, because I'm not going to tell him, oh, I don't trust you. No, I'm just going to be alert. So don't play with me like I'm stupid. Don't try to be sneaky or sketchy because I will call you out on it.
Because nobody's crazy. We just like to be upfront. Yeah. And listen, I don't care what y'all say. Y'all know you like a little bit of crazy. You like a little bit of crazy too.
Yes, that's a great point. Like, don't twist something around. If I come at you with a question, answer it. Don't be like, oh, but why you did? Don't repeat my question to me. Like, answer it.
Or be like, you don't have, or treat me like I don't have the right to ask you that question.
And especially if you're not doing anything or you have don't get defensive. Just answer. And you answer it, boom, it's hashed out, it's solved, move on, enjoy our date. But if you're gonna sit there and be like, oh, I didn't do that, and then come to find out, oh, you did that, even if it's the dumbest lie, it's still a lie. What was the point of it? So it's just like, why even bother? Mm-hmm. So trust is gonna be a huge different thing, and because I've become wiser with my relationships, that yeah, that's gonna be something that I'm gonna take into my next. So and that way it would affect it because I'll be very picky on who I trust. So once I do trust you and the first time you break that trust, unfortunately, like, that's it, because I'm over giving all those chances and getting back into the same situation. It's just like, no. So I have to become pickier, and it is what it is. If I'm going to remain single for whatever years, so be it. Mm-hmm. But I refuse to settle just for a title or just to have company, especially if it's bad company. No. So that's how it would affect it. How would your past relationship affect you becoming more, like, committed to someone? Like, would you jump into commitment as easy as you did? No. Or would you give it more time and actually date a lot longer before you get into an official relationship or commit to that person?
Yeah, the second thing that you said, because like I've said in, I want to say our second video, when we were first talking about dating, when there's steps to building a good foundation to a solid relationship, you can slap one together, but then it's like the wolf and the three little pigs, you know, like whose house is the most sturdiest.
Yeah.
So I feel like now, learning from my past experiences, moving forward, I want to build a good solid foundation. So it's like, let's get to know each other first without all the pressures of whatever. Once I feel like I kind of know you, we vibe, we you know, connect, then, you know, if things get faster as far as like more intense, then that's something that I feel like happens naturally. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to rush into a marriage, and I wouldn't rush just because I feel like a really strong connection with you. I'm not going to rush and be like, oh, well, I know I have like a 6-month rule, or like at least close to 6 months before I introduce you to my son, but I feel like you're the one. I'm just going to rush and slop it all together.
No, because I've learned that when you do rush in a relationship, that's when it fails. Like, time is everything when it comes to relationship and two people. Because my biggest pet peeve is people jumping, like, yeah, okay, fine. Some people do find love like this, and they're like, oh my god, I just met, but that's the love of my life. I know I'm meant to be with you. Fine, if it works for you, perfect. But there's some cases that you can tell when it's not a genuine thing. So it's just, I don't want to get married with or to you just because I said when I was younger that by 25 I want to be married. Why? What's the rush? Yeah, freaking society has put us in that mindset that at a certain age you have to have a kid, at a certain age you have to be married, at a certain age you have to be done with school and have a career and buy a house by a certain age. But the way that society is now, that's not realistic. Mm-hmm. So why are you going to set a time frame on your life and on your happiness just because society says so?
And society has changed so much.
No.
So it's like, yeah, back in the day, that used to work. Rushing and getting married at a young age and in your adolescence, like, people do that all the time.
Yeah.
And it worked back then. We are in a totally different generation. Like, everything is easier, fast-paced, the tip of your finger. So you need to make sure that whoever you're with, you build a solid foundation.
Yes.
So that when people try to slip in through one of the millions of doors that we have between social media and everyone knowing people being in your business, it's like, you need to make sure that that foundation is solid. You
Yes.
know that person in all of their seasons, and that you guys took the time to build that foundation. And then you can be like, okay, you know what? We seem like we have something steady, solid, and sometimes that may only take a year, and that's fine.
Yeah.
A year, to me, I feel like, okay, that's 12 months.
Yeah.
Especially if you're with each other a lot, that's plenty of time to really get to know somebody, even their bad sides, because everybody has it.
Absolutely.
I have it, you have it. We all have something that is
Absolutely.
like our downfall. But if that person's willing to grow, if you can see their downfall and still be like, you know what, that's doable. We can work on that. And vice versa, you can help me work on mine. We can grow from it.
Exactly. And another thing is, I feel if you say someone is the love of your life and you know that it's meant to be, but then you go into that relationship and have the mentality like, okay, I said it, he's the one I'm going to be with, I'm going to get married, boom. But then you get married and you start trying to change that person.
Or make them what you envisioned.
Exactly.
The fairy tale you
Yeah,
envisioned.
you were all caught up in the moment and you may have thought that, but now look at you, look where you are. Like, why are you trying to change the person that you said was the one? If you knew he was the one, then everything about him would have been perfect in your eyes, or could have been acceptable in your eyes. But if you're going to go and change him for what he's not, then it's not meant to be. Mm-hmm. Then you just jumped into it because of the illusion that you were living in. But I feel like with time, everything is better. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, when it comes to committing, it's not going to happen within a 4-month period or a 6-month period. Maybe a year plus, then I can know that, yeah, exactly, then I'm good to commit and good to go and take that next step in my life. But before that, how do you handle lonely days when you feel unsure on whether or not you'll find someone?
Well, I look myself in the mirror and tell myself that I'm a bomb-ass bitch, that I'm sexy, and I'm smart, and I just take that same energy that I could spend sulking. Like, it's gonna happen, you'll get a wave of it, and then you're like, okay, you can either give it attention, or you can just be like, okay, what else can I do with that energy? Instead of putting it into just sitting there thinking and dwelling on it it's like, no, it's just a down moment. Yeah, right now it'd be nice to have somebody, but I try to look at it as now it's like I have the rest of my life to share a bed, share a bathroom, share toilet, share the kitchen, share everything. I'm gonna have somebody there, and there's gonna be days then that I'm gonna wish I had this now, my independence and my space. So it's like now I'm just learning to embrace it. Embrace that I have the whole bed to myself. Embrace that I can go to the bathroom and there's no men hairs everywhere. It's just my clean counter. And then put that energy into something else. So that's not a waste.
I agree. I would say the same thing. Like, yeah, it gets tough and you get in your head and your feelings like, damn, why am I single? Because I know I'm a catch. I know I have all the good qualities to, you know, portray, or not even portray, be an amazing woman that I am. And not to toot my own horn or anything, toot. But, toot. But I mean, I know my value, I know my worth. So, yeah, I may get lonely sometimes, but I much rather be by myself and wait on God to send me that man that he has for me before I go into a relationship to settle. Like, I refuse to settle. Been there once, twice, not gonna do it again. So I rather, like I said, I rather wait, be single, be lonely. If it is that I have one night that I'm like, oh my God, this sucks. Well, guess what?
But you know what? This is the best time, because this right here, that's the other thing. And I can say from being married, the one thing that I took for granted was like now in my freedom time, I can call my friends and I can do whatever I want. I don't have to ask nobody for permission. I don't have to be like, hey, honey, like, I don't know what are your plans for tonight because I kind of wanted to spend time with my girls. Oh, well, I kind of want to spend time with you. I need you to stay home because I miss you. Okay, and that's like fine. It's going to be great when it comes, but right now, I'm taking advantage of the fact that I can be like, you know what, tonight I'm going to go do this. My son is at his dad's house. I can have some freedom.
Yes, alone time is so big. And not to mention, like, we're young, so I'm not trying to rush that stage in my life. Like, it'll come when it's meant to come. I'm not gonna just sit here waiting like, okay, is it today?
Like, that's not our soul life purpose. Is not a man.
No,
our soul life of existence is not tied up in a man. My future happiness is not tied up in a man. No. It's tied up in your dreams. Chase your dreams, and I feel like whatever energy level you elevate to, you're gonna attract what's for you in that level.
Yes. Like, I won't lie, would I mind being in a relationship and having a person to, you know, call and be like, hey, this is what I did today? Fine. But am I ready to be in a relationship where I have to feel like I am not a slave to my husband or man, but have to commit and cater for every little thing? No. Because, like,
she being real.
I mean, seriously, I feel like in any relationship, I want to find a guy that it's 50-50, that you don't have that old school mentality that a woman's job is in the kitchen and a woman's job is to do what she's supposed to do. No. Like, I want a 50-50 relationship. Yes. I want to be on common ground. Like, oh, today you cook? Okay, I'll clean. Oh, tomorrow I'm going to cook? Okay, so you're going to clean. I want to have that mutual. I'm working late, you're going to have dinner ready. Vice versa. Like, I don't want it to always fall on me like, oh, hey, I need this cleaned. Where's my food for this? No. If you have that mindset, it ain't going to work from the beginning. So I'm just being fun with that. But
and to our future men out there, I have a little what would you call it? Some advice.
Oh, okay.
For you. We would also do, like, you know, you guys like to be tended to and catered to, and you want to be treated like a king, and that's all fine and dandy. I will treat you like a king.
Absolutely.
I will treat you like Zaddy because you will be Zaddy. However, we also like to be treated like royalty. It would be nice to have a hot bath when you come home with some candles and some flowers and dinner cooked and wine poured, and, you know, if you want to massage my feet or whatever, that's fine too.
Or say like, oh my God, honey, I know you look tired. Why don't you go relax and let me take care of things? Like, do things from the kindness of your heart and do just because things. I swear, those are the moments that win me over the most. It's just when you're like, oh, I picked up a card, no occasion, but just because I wanted to show you, like, this I saw and it reminded me of you. Or I love you this much, or just because moments are probably the best. Like, don't go over and crazy, wait around for my birthday to do some sweet gesture. No, like,
do it when it's unexpected.
Exactly. That's when I feel like it's the most genuine and it's not an obligation and that you actually want to do it from the kindness of your heart. To me, God, that is like the best type
It is
of man,
very,
and it's
very
ooh,
attractive.
it makes you sit there like, damn, I am lucky. It makes you so. If you are in a relationship now, start doing that if you're not already doing it, because I'm telling you, if you're having trials and exactly, if you're having problems right now, and you start doing those little gestures here and there where she picks it up slowly and it's not like a big gesture and she's like, oh, what's this for? No, do it. Hey honey, I've got you this. Walk away. Don't wait for her reaction. Don't wait for like a thank you, just then walk away. So she's caught off guard, one, and then she's like, what? Why he do that? What did I do? Is it somebody's birthday or is there an occasion? Make her think, like, because then she's like, damn, did you really just do that just because? And you're like, oh my god. So, anyways.
I heard this sermon. We were created to love and be loved.
Yes.
So, as creatures of love, that's what we're here for. We're to love each other and to be loved in return.
Next question, and it's also our last question. So, says, how would you use your relationship experiences to guide your children with their own in the future when they get older?
Number one, I'd be completely transparent and honest with my son. So I wouldn't hide any questions he has. I would not hide them from him, and if anything, I'd share with him. Probably more than he'd want to know, but because I would want him to. Cause I feel like when you hide things from your kids, then they end up repeating your mistakes when you could have just shared it with them instead of being embarrassed by it, and then they wouldn't repeat the pattern. They would be the one to do something different.
Yes.
So it's like if I can speak also from experience, things that I didn't find out until afterwards. I realized, oh, that's some mistake my mom made, or oh, that's a mistake my dad made. Now I know it, so then it's like, okay, I can know not to do those same things or fall in those same traps. But the things that they did share with me, like, oh, you know, neither one of my parents graduated high school, then it was like such an important thing for me to make sure I graduated high school and got my diploma. And so it's like little things like that. If you're upfront and honest with your kids, then they can be like, oh, okay, and then you had to struggle because of that. So if I don't do that, then I won't have to struggle. No? Okay, cool. And then they don't make those same mistakes.
Yeah.
You're kind of helping them.
I agree on the matter, and I feel like also from every relationship, obviously it's a different man, and every man comes with its own characteristics and traits and things that you wish they had or lacked, and obviously that's probably a reason why you're not with them. But in learning that and learning what I love and learning how I wanted to be respected by a man is something that I will portray on my son and make sure that he values women. So I want to make sure that my son has the most respect for women and opens the doors for her.
Yes.
And tells her, you know, she's beautiful even when she's looking like complete shit. Like, I want to make sure that he knows that those small moments count the most. And to always be genuine. And if you have to wear your heart on your sleeve, then do it sometime, because there's nothing more, I feel, frustrating than having a closed off man as a partner. Like, if you lack that communication skill, then, you know, your relationship's not going to go anywhere. So I always tell my son, be open, don't hide anything, be honest. You can't ever go wrong or fail with honesty. And just to, you know, be a gentleman, an overall gentleman. Like, my son now, he'll open doors and he'll, mommy, ladies first. Yes, so and it's like, and it makes you so happy. You're like, you don't want to react because, you know, you don't want them to get like, oh, is that something? Like, you're like, oh, thank you, thank you. And you're really dying inside because you're just like, oh, my baby. Yes. But when he does stuff like that, it's just like, oh my God. And he tells me all the time, Mommy, you're so beautiful. Mommy, even when you have no makeup on and your hair is up, you're so beautiful. And it's just like, oh my God, it's like, thank you so much. Like, and they say it with the most purity and love, and it's just like, so you know it's genuine, and it's like, oh, this is exactly what I want him to be like. This is exactly how I want him to see every type of woman and all women. It's just with that innocence and that love, and be genuine with their responses and their comments and their compliments. And it's just like, that's what I want to instill in him. So I feel, as far as my past relationships, that will be the biggest thing. Show him respect. Show him that respect is number one. Trust is number one. all that comes first. So I would say learning that I didn't have it, and that's what all the relationships in the past were lacking. I will make sure my son instills that. It's instilled with that, and
honesty.
And yeah, oh God, honesty is huge, and portray that on whatever future relationships he may have. Well, guys, that was it for today. Thank you for joining us for episode number 4 of JM Table Chats. Again, we thank you so much for tuning in every week and taking time out to watch us and view all of our videos. If you have any questions, make sure you drop them below. Comment, like, share, subscribe to our channel. And again, if you have questions, we will try our best to respond to one of those questions in our future episode.
And if we didn't reach your question this episode, I promise you we have it on our list.
Yes.
It will be coming up the next episode. Once again, we thank you guys so much for supporting us and supporting our vision and our goals and our dreams.
Yes.
I'm a firm believer in supporting people and having confidence in everything that you do. So this has been a really exciting adventure for us.
Yes.
And there's so much more to come.
And we are so glad you guys are all a part of it. And again, thank you to Dee for submitting your questions. We hope that our responses helped with that or answered them in the way that you thought. But again, thank you guys, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for watching J&M Table Chats. I'm Jessica.
And I'm Melanie.
And we will see you next episode.
Bye.
Oh, hello there.
I wasn't ready.
Ooh, slay.
So first question is, if you could go back to before you had a child, would you change things? Do you think you would make the same choices, and would you have waited? So I guess it's more like a 3-question question.
Okay, and who's this question from?
This is from D.
D. Okay, D.
I regret it? Absolutely not, because my son is... God bless you. So, okay.
Oh, perfect.
Alright. I'm gonna show this side somehow.
Oh, Chestnut! Oh, yes.